We've got another one from QB. He says, please ask Stevie his thoughts and experience working with women in WWE. It's never talked about, specifically what it was like working with Trish Stratus and Victoria. I really respect Stevie for always willing to put the women over and legitimizing them to appear even more badass. I think with Victoria, that's going to be an episode all on its own as well. And this is an aside as well. I think we'll probably stick on Trish with this one, but as an aside, came up on my Instagram a few days ago, you versus Luna Vachon in ECW in a cage match. I had no idea about that match at all. So that
I see that. I submitted to the testicular claw, jumping off the top of the cage and landing on my feet, by the way. Much like Adam. Because how am I going to jump off the top of the cage knowing that Luna with her 6-inch nails is like this, and I got to land there without getting nails into certain parts that the nails went. So that's a little too TMI for everybody. I had scars that I still carry today.
Hey, we'll get back to the other question. Because I mentioned the Luna thing then. Was that the first intergender match in ECW history?
I think it was the first intergender cage match in all of wrestling history, but it was the first. No, it wasn't the first intergender because we had Dreamer and Luna versus actually myself and Raven. And I think Beulah was in there on some mixed tags. There was a lot of mixed tags and intergenders that happened before that, but that was the first intergender cage match that I think was anywhere in wrestling. But to answer his question, Trish was amazing to work with. All the women were amazing to work with. Fit Finley and I did a lot of coaching. Not that they needed much they were incredible athletes, but psychology, characters, how they work together. And WrestleMania 19 is what pretty much Trish and I are most famous for, with the stratisfaction she gave me and I bumped out of the ring, prefaced by me hitting myself in the head with a chair at WrestleMania. That was my WrestleMania moment. So, but that speaks to something like, for other workers out there, I knew for a fact that there were tons of amazing wrestlers, especially at WrestleMania 19 pay-per-view, Shawn and Chris, Brock and Kurt, Hogan and Vince. I mean, you can't outshine these people. So the niche I had to look for to stand out, much like when Raven told me, wear Daisy Dukes in a half shirt, be a clueless putz, be a wussy, you are going to stand out in the land of shooters, tough guys, street fighters. This was the lesson I carried with this, that if I become the valet instead of the woman who's usually the valet, if I become the valet to Victoria, if I become the person that feeds for the women to hit moves on, I will stand out. Now, in the office and in the locker room, they probably looked at me less than, because I'm selling for women, because I'm doing stuff. But just like QB points out, it created moments and memories that people remember. And that's really the point of doing this. Also, by serving others and by helping others get over, the talent wants to work with you and is going to be more accepting of you pitching stuff that might get you over. So there is a political aspect to doing it. But all in all, Trish is all the women in that time, Jazz, Trish, Victoria, Molly Holly. If I'm leaving anybody out, you look at Charmel and her way with Booker and other things. The females were incredible. Probably, in my estimation, the best female characters that came along in modern wrestling history. Those girls could work, but they also were characters. And it was just an immense honor to be able to be kind of put into that, even though my spot may have been viewed and was viewed by a lot of male talent as being career killing in a way. So I took that chance to stand out where it could probably, and it probably did, make it look like all you're good for is putting talent over after that. But it got me on WrestleMania, it got me featured, and also got me some political capital within the company, because I was so selfless in that way that when I did ask to do something or pitch something, like I said, they were a little more accepting of that.
Who are the women who can believably do an intergender match? Because I think they're few and far between. I mean, Jackie, Miss Texas.
I left her out. She's amazing too. I'm sorry, Jackie. Yeah.
Luna, as you mentioned before. China. Awesome Kong, maybe something like that. But I don't really know what I'm going to ask here, apart from the fact that there are so few women out there
who can hang physically with men in the ring and work.
Yeah, but the thing is, and have the fans accept it as well, because obviously you need someone like you who's willing to, I'd hate using the insider, put them over for God's sake. I hate using the insider lingo, but I end up doing it a lot because I can't think of not. But who else could do it?
What you're kind of looking at is the way the locker room looks at it. You're sacrificing the masculinity of your character, which also makes guys not want to sell for you, not want to put you over. And that was all reality after coming out of this. Jackie is number one, because you gotta keep up with Jackie. You gotta hang with her. She's not hanging with you. Awesome Kong's another one. China is one, but you have to work the China match. Chris Jericho has famously said that China was difficult to work with. I agree with that. Jericho was villainized for that, or vilified. But I agree with that. But that doesn't make her not a great worker, not a great wrestler, not a draw. You just have to work her match. I would put Gail Kim in that. Gail Kim took beatings from Awesome Kong. I've worked intergender matches with Gail Kim. She can hang with the guys. From a look, she's a very petite girl. So you'd no, but she's a tough girl. Victoria is definitely one. I think Molly Holly, even though same as Gail, more feminine, might not look, but Molly Holly can chain wrestle, can wrestle with the best of them. Who else? Even back in the day, Tori Wilson, or not Tori Wilson, even though Tori could take bumps. Tori that was with DX.
Yeah.
Terry
Pock or Potch. I can't remember her surname, how you pronounce it, but yeah, I know.
I'm not sure. Terry Runnels took some share of nasty bumps, her share of nasty bumps. I think women in wrestling are severely underrated. Now today, they're incredibly athletic, although I do think their characters and even psychology are very 2D. There's no layers to them. That's why people look back at Jazz, Victoria, Gail Kim, Trish, China, and there's a slight disconnect or maybe even a de-evolution in the girls today, which, like I said, they're incredible athletes, but in pro wrestling, it needs to translate into a storyline and a character, or you're just another wrestler.
I was thinking of one more. I wouldn't do intergender matches with her, but someone who could take a ton of bumps, Francine.
Absolutely. Yeah. Any girl in ECW is going to, Lori Follington, Sandman's wife or ex-wife at the time, and there's tons of girls that need to take bumps. And thank God that they're always put with people like a Fit Finlay to really not beat them up, but teach them the right way. Fit's one of the best. Robbie Brookside at the Performance Center is also one of the best at teaching foundation stuff. This is all world of sports stuff. William Regal, these are the people that need to be in the business and need to be helping people.